うなずけどいい愛想愛と愛の知ったかぶり都合悪けりゃ見えない知らないバイバイバイ人の顔ばかり伺って感情隠し生きてたってなく
Man, oh man. Freedom, really the perfect song to start episode 2 of The Streak. It is Band-Maid for August 2023. I'm your host, Drake Riggs, here to bring you The Streak. If you missed the last episode, the first episode, the introductory episode, this is the podcast where I go back and reflect on my experiences and stories revolving around the monthly concerts that I've been going to since July 2023. And that was the last one, which was for Wallace and Johnny, and gave you a little bit more background on how we got here, how we got to this point, because the streak is still going on. The streak is still going on strong as we sit here at the time of recording on January 25th. I almost said first month of 2025, January 25th, at the time of recording here. Already got in this month's concert, which was the Funeral Portrait. That will be many episodes from now before we talk about that one, but it was a great show. It was a fantastic show here in Memphis. But today, we will be talking about Band-Maid from August 2023. One of the most emotional months of my life. The most emotional month of my life. Hands down. Undeniably, the more I think about it. So this is going to be a doozy of a time period to reflect on. A doozy of an episode here for number 2. But I mean, I knew this was going to fucking happen. It's just the order of how events played out. So yeah, we will get into all that fun stuff here as we look back on that time and the great Band-Maid. My goodness, what a fun band Band-Maid is. As you can tell if you're watching on YouTube, or if you're listening, I mean, just you can feel the fun energy that Band-Maid presents. And I don't really know how I first came across Band-Maid, because since 2020, let's see, I want to say it was about I think it was 2018 that I first discovered baby metal. 2018, 2019, I first discovered baby metal. I think pretty easily, pretty comfortably, we can call the most popular Japanese metal band on Earth. I think so, at least, yeah, globally. I mean, I'm also super biased, and I don't listen to a shit ton of Japanese metal, or, Japanese bands or anything like that, but the ones that I have heard, I do really like. Dollbox comes to mind, and I know that they're kind of more of a standalone experimental project, I think. But baby metal, those are my ones. That's one of my favorite bands right now, and has been one of my favorite bands since I first discovered them. Hilariously, kind of the way that I did back then. But I didn't really get into them until 2020, and they helped me get through a lot of the shit the tough times at the end of the first part of the relationship with my bad ex, who you kind of found out about in the last episode if you had not heard about that before, if you are listening and know me or not. And I think this is what we're going to call her from now on as we go through these next couple episodes, because we will get to a point in the streak here where the mentions go away. But in these first couple, it's not directly tied in, but there are the ties. And I think Mystique is the best nickname to give here, and that is an X-Men reference for, the blue chick that Jennifer Lawrence played. The shapeshifter. You never know their real identity, and when you see them, they're this attractive alien type figure. Mutants? I just think that was the perfect fucking way to describe the devil here that I was working with. So yes, in 2020, when Mystique and I were first together, kind of towards the end of that one, Baby Metal helped me get through a lot of nights where I just needed something to make me feel better. So ever since then, I've been just a massive, massive Baby Metal fan. Love them so much. I still wish I saw the original 3. I have seen them since. We will talk about them on the streak, don't you worry. They will be the October episode. So that is the one after the next one. Boy, that'll be a doozy to talk about as well. But yeah, so Baby Metal, always been really big on them. And I think I discovered Band-Maid through just the YouTube algorithm being like, hey, check out these Japanese rock stars. And if you can't tell, if you're unfamiliar with Band-Maid and you are watching again on YouTube and can see, we have the 10th anniversary North American tour backdrop here. And Band-Maid's whole shtick is that they dress up as maids. They have gotten a little bit away from the gimmick deep in 10 years of their career now, but when they started, they were like all made it out. We still have, of course, some of the girls dressing up there, but they're legit fucking rock stars. Don't be fooled by the aesthetics there. Band-Maid, super duper legit, super fun band. And that was a great show. So before we get to that show specifically, let's talk about how we got there. So I got the tickets for Band-Maid. I was following them on on Instagram in July. And I think I saw, 10-year anniversary show coming up. Oh, they're going to be in Portland. Cool. Check it out. Ooh, man, that'd be sweet. McMenamin's Crystal Ballroom, phenomenal venue. One of the best for a concert, for shows in Portland, I would say. I don't know if I'd say it's my favorite. I really love the Roseland, and I've seen probably the most shows I've ever seen have been in the Roseland, and we will talk about them. I think, I don't know which month it'll be here in the streak, but we'll get to the Roseland chatter. But the Crystal Ballroom is also a phenomenal venue. So I saw that one. I was like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to get tickets to them. August 11th. Hell yeah. Let's go. Let's keep this going. I need to do it, as I addressed in the last episode there. And so around the end of July, I was really getting to a point with Mystique where I was questioning just a lot of what I was still doing with her, and trying. It was a very, very deep internal battle of should I leave? How do I leave? I've committed all this time, energy, money. I have no money. All these things to like, fuck, are you gonna quit? Are you really gonna quit? It was very complicated in my brain and very exhausting by that point, having gone through that for an entire year consecutively. Well, beyond a year. And in total, the saga is about a 3-year saga. But when the momentum, when the snowball really got rolling in a bad direction, was pretty much when she returned to Oregon in July 2022. And I won't go into full details about all this stuff because that is what the book is for. These conversations are just to kind of tease you guys with the appetizer of the spin-off side stories that we have here that won't be in the book. Some of them will be mentioned, like, you know, these first 2 episodes, I'm sure, and then actually some other ones until about we hit 2024 on the streak, but we won't talk as in-depth about the concerts and all the stuff we're doing right here in the book. There's no need to do that. At least I don't think so. I'm not there yet in the book. But anyway, it was getting pretty rough, and I needed something that I wanted to do, you know, like I still wanted to be in that relationship and be with her, but obviously not to the same extent because I was having this subconscious, the devil and the angel, you know, the fighting on your shoulders inside your head of trying to figure it out, just like what exactly are you feeling without knowing it, but still thinking you feel this way. We've already gone through all this, and it really kind of opens the eyes to show you why people stick around in shitty situations for as long as they do. Sometimes, and that's very unfortunate, and sometimes it takes a certain situation or thing to be seen to be like, that's what I needed, that was what I needed. It fucking sucks. We'll get to that, but oh fuck, wow, I feel so much better now. Not right away, but you know, that builds over time. So around this time also was when I was getting due for a new cell phone. A new phone. I had the Galaxy Z Flip. I think it was the 3. Yes, I think I had the Z Flip 3. You know, the clamshell open up phone, which at first I really enjoyed and thought it was great to have that portability of a little square in your pocket, protect the screen by closing it, all that stuff. Not that I really even drop my phones very much at all, especially when I'm careful, like I am now, and I'm also going to get to that. But it got pretty fucking annoying towards the end after having it for 2 years and just being like, I gotta open this thing up every time to do something. Just what you'd expect. So I was getting due for a new phone, and I really just started to obsess with like phone tech and get excited. I wanted the folds. I wanted to switch to the big one because I liked the concept, and I didn't think about the folds at first for whatever reason, but I saw that, I was like, oh, that'd be so helpful just for potential work. And I mean, just that's a cool concept. You have a tablet in your pocket that is also a normal phone. So I really started obsessing with tech and looking into all that, watching just a bunch of videos, getting excited, like, oh, which should I get it? Just kind of really educating and obsessing about it to the point where I was like so excited for when the Z Fold 5 came out, and like having dreams about, I can't wait to have this. I think that my mind just needed something to be super excited about, and something that was so valuable to me and that couldn't be taken away in that sense. Which sounds super fucking dumb, I think, you know, to kind of base it around something like that. But it was true. I think that is kind of what happened, because I've never felt that way about a piece of technology ever before. And so it was building up. Coincidentally, it was like August. I think the Z Fold 5 released, I think it was August 11th. I think it was the same exact day as the Band-Maid concert. So that was like a double whammy. Oh shit, you go get a new phone, go to the concert. Sweet. Hell yeah. That was my plan. I could not wait. I was so excited to get the Fold 5. And we did. We got it right here, charging right now. As you can see, if you're watching on YouTube. And it is held up strong and been amazing ever since. I fucking love it. And it's going to be hard for me to probably go away from the folds for as long as they are around. And I just saw today that Samsung's working on a trifold, so that's ridiculous. I don't know. That might be too much. But anyway, before we got to August 11th, we went through the breakup and finding out the truth, which was I had been getting cheated on, and this person was really lying about essentially their entire identity, all these things, all these awful things. Just an absolute earth-shattering experience that I found out about while on a work trip, while at the Nate Diaz versus Jake Paul fight. If things weren't already worse having to watch that event, and then this happens while I'm away. Just completely soul-crushing experience to go through while trying to maintain your cool. And these are, this is an incredibly massive part of the book, which I haven't said the title yet, I think, in even the last episode, but it will be Plastic Tiara, My Experience with a Sociopath. I believe that's the title. I haven't looked at it a whole lot. I just usually get to writing when I open it up. But we'll save really the details around, I'm sure, the questions that you guys will be having there. But yeah, that was incredibly difficult to go through. And, then going back home the day after, barely sleeping that night. And as soon as I get back home, instantly, I'm like, all right, I think let's jump into therapy. Let's set it up. I don't want to fall into my life getting ruined beyond repair, which realistically, looking back on, I don't know if that was possible. It felt like that was very possible. We were at the lowest of the low, right? The lowest of the low point in kind of all aspects. Still had a job and all that, but I had to rebuild. It was an attempt. The whole thing was an attempt at ruining my life, right? And essentially, in a way, a life was ruined. And time was lost that will never be gotten back. But it was also the ultimate learning experience, right? So there are so many ways to look at it. But as soon as I got back, the thought was immediately, let's jump into therapy as soon as possible. Don't slip. Don't slide further than this feeling that we're already in. It is days after. I think it was, I don't know if it was the Sunday or the Monday, because Saturday was when Paul Diaz was August 5th. I'll unfortunately never forget. I called a therapist that one of my friends at the time was seeing, and organized it. The earliest they could get me in was Saturday. I was like, all right, great, awesome. Let's see how it goes. We're very fresh. I don't know if that's a good idea. This will be awful. Yada yada. Spoiler: turned out to be an incredibly smart choice. Shocker, who would have thought? And I want to say to you guys now, if you're ever feeling like, oh man, maybe I need therapy, or it comes into mind, give it a shot. Give it a fucking shot. Because if you were questioning yourself in that manner, you might need to let some things out. And it is okay to let some things out. That is what I'm literally doing right now. That is a part of this whole exercise and experience and everything since then. I'm really big on openness. If that surprises you, then it shouldn't. So And that was a part of, going through the experiences, and then therapy helping you be even more all right with vulnerability and your boundary setting or lack thereof, and it's okay to have them, all these types of things. So it was an insanely eventful week, the very beginning of August, right? I mean, August 5th, technically, that was the second week of the month after that, but life falls completely apart. Set up therapy, do a bunch of other kind of safety precautions because of fallout of things. Got the concert coming, got the new phone. I got just enough money, just enough, barely. I probably went into the concert, I want to say I entered McMenamin's Crystal Ballroom that night, that Friday night, August 11th, with probably around $100 to my name. Because I went and spent the rest of it that I had barely from on my new phone. Because I really needed that. I needed to take care of myself, goddammit, for fucking once in 3 years, when no one else would do it for me, and they especially wouldn't do it the fucking way I did it for them. So, I was fine and happy with that. Wasn't happy, we were in big time recovery mode, and this was a part of the healing, whether it was getting the phone or seeing the show itself. This was a combination of that. And it was really kind of funny because there was this worry in mind, and I had always had this thought before starting the streak when I did in July 2023. But I never, at most concerts I went to before July 2023, and if I was in the pit, if I had like a standing spot and I knew I was going to be kind of bouncing around, maybe moshing, depending on the show, I never liked to bring my phone or anything, just out of caution for, if I drop it, it gets smashed in some way. Yeah, just the dangers and fear of something like that happening. So I did find it pretty hilarious to get a new phone on the same day I was going to a concert, where I did have a GA ticket, a general admission ticket, and I was like, watch, I'm gonna fucking break this thing on the very first day I get it. I'm gonna gamble by trying to take pictures and stuff on this nice new camera, video, all that stuff. But we made it through. We survived, got some great footage, and it was a blast of a lifetime. Band-Maid absolutely fucking crushed it. They are just so goddamn fun. I believe this is going to be a thing I'm going to do for every episode as well, and I don't think I said it last time specifically, but I have a very weird memory where I can remember pretty much the first song I ever heard by, I don't want to say every band, but my favorite bands are bands I like a whole lot, right? So for Band-Maid, I believe the very first one I ever heard was Thrill, or Afterlife would maybe be the other one, which Afterlife is going to be next here on the queue, so we'll tee that one up. But I'm pretty sure it was Thrill, which was great. And they played both of those, which was fucking awesome. And it's just, I just love so much to see, three Japanese women, not three Japanese women, 5 Japanese women, I don't know why I said 3, but who dress up as maids, which is just a funny, silly gimmick, and then just legitimately fucking incredible musical talent for a rock band, like to be able to shred and do what they do is just such a cool thing. I think in the ultimate form of expression and no limitations on what a person can be or should be allowed to do, no matter where you're from or what have you. They're just so happy and fun all the time. And I will say in particular, from the show, one of my favorite memories from this was when they played No God, and Misa, the bassist, her bass solo was just, oh my goodness. I mean, it's great on the recorded track, and we had that song actually play earlier here on the episode. I think it might have been the second or third one, but you know, they had a little bit of her and Konami, the lead guitarist. It was a little bit of a solo off. It was just super cool, and it translates so much better live. Like, it's still good on the recorded track, of course, but like, burned into my memory. Just such a cool moment to see them do their thing for their 10th anniversary show, touring America. Really cool. And then Misa's just a fun time, always drinking beer, like on every show she does up on stage. And in Portland, they were, making their jokes when they were up there. And I mean, Miku, who you can see right in the middle here if you're watching on YouTube again. Also one of the guitarists, and kind of like the front lady a little bit, even though she isn't the lead singer. That's Saiki, but she also does some of the backing vocals. Incredible stage presence, just an insanely fun entertainer. They had like a whole little 2-minute bit that they did up there, kind of with Misa and her beer obsession of sorts, but just so great. It was just such a fun time. Band-Maid rules. They killed it every song. Good fun stuff on Here's Afterlife. But yeah, No God was a standout to me. Misa, phenomenal bassist. Konami, absolutely shreds. Akane on the drums. I mean, they're all so good. And Band-Maid, my goodness, they have like, let me see how many albums they have now. They just dropped a new one last year, Epic Narratives, which was also quality. Oh, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They have 8 albums. So if you aren't into Band-Maid, but you like some good Japanese rock and roll, they're your girls. They got the content there for you. But it was a good time. It was much needed to kind of, again, that escape from the most traumatic experience that I've ever had in my entire life, and I intend to have as my only, as my last, the most and the last major traumatic experience. So they kind of helped me get through that in that very first week, which is insane to kind of think about and look back on. August 11th in the Crystal Ballroom, rocking out with Band-Maid, with my new stupid flip phone, fold phone, whatever you want to call it. They were great, and I 100% will see them again. I don't think I've had any repeats on the streak yet. No, I haven't, because Wallace was going to be the one, which would have been so perfectly poetic, but that Atlanta show got canceled for next week for whatever reason. Shoutouts to Wallace. But yeah, that was a good old time. Hanging out with Band-Maid for the night. I don't think I had any drinks that night. I think I just didn't want to get too lost in the sauce, literally, in that situation. But very, very, what's the word? A little bit meditative, cathartic. I mean, all of these shows, for the most part, maybe not all of them, and we'll talk about next month's, the September 2023 show, which, man, still such a bummer to look back on, but for reasons we'll talk about. Yes, they're all cathartic in their own ways. That meditation, that fun, the escapism, all that. So I think that is about it for the Band-Maid reflection. I will admit it does feel a little bit harder to pick out, and it's probably with this time period of these first two shows. I think it'll be easier with the September show, the September 2023 show, because like my mind was obviously half gone from these first two shows around them. So remembering the shows, along with it being a decent bit of time ago now, what, a year and a half, which is insane to say that as well. The memory is not as strong as it once was, especially, when you're going through something so intense and dealing with that when it's around it, But, yeah. If you haven't seen Band-Maid, see Band-Maid. See Wallace as well. Highly recommend. I gotta see when they are definitely coming back around these parts too, because they're just awesome. So I think that will conclude this episode, though. We'll keep it at a nice tidy 30-minute window. I think that'll probably be pretty standard for the streak here, you guys. But yeah, I teased you with it. The next episode, September 2023, in the streak, is Calabrese, everybody's favorite punk rock vampires, modern day punk rock, I guess you would say. They have a very punky feel to them. I fucking love Calabrese. They are awesome. But unfortunately, that show was not so awesome. And we will get into that next time. So until then, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in again here along with me on this reflective journey through this streak as it continues on to this day, going strong as we get ready to gear up for February 2025. Got to find the show for that one. I have a whole lot of options for the February show coming up. But until then, remember to follow, like, share, subscribe. Not just to the show, but me at DrakeRiggs _ Twitter and Instagram. Those are the main ones for me. The streak is available here on YouTube or Spotify, wherever you are watching / listening, at The Streak with Drake Riggs. On Spotify specifically for that one, you can find it also, should be able to find it on my Spotify page, which is also just my name. And then on YouTube, my personal YouTube channel there too. So yeah, until then, you guys, take care, stay safe, stay sane, and we will see you next time.